I need to scoot over. Yeah. What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36 and Friday edition of BS. Sorry about Wednesday. Wednesday we had Jags practices. It's very it's tough to get the schedule all together, complete with people working and practices and all kinds of other different things. But last Friday without college football, but got pro football. And I'll be at the Jags game tonight. High school football, Mandarins playing Douglas MacArthur High School, as well as a couple other schools kick off here locally in Jacksonville, Florida, as well as nationally. Lots of good things going on. What we got right now, though, is we won't bury the lead. We'll get this thing started. And we'll start our show off the same way we start each and every show off with the word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
What we got today, Jaden?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another morning edition of Big Games B.S. here on Friday, August 21st. This is your first time at the show. Welcome, and it's called Big Games B.S. because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. We have our MFTK segment to kick off the show. We got the MFTK Stingray schedule we want to put on the big screen as well. And then we have some news coming from Battle Sports. After that, we're going to talk about the NCAA, starting with FSU, the home team. We're going to get into some Seminole football and even some soccer talk while discussing some of the most controversial and buzzworthy topics in college sports, such as the Penn State fiasco and such as the AP poll getting released and more information about college and college sports. After that, we got the NFL. We're going to ask James about his experience at the Panthers and Jaguars joint practice. Keep you guys updated on some new deals in the league, some injuries, and taking a look at some week 2 preseason games. Then we're going to finish our show with our big games BS section, where we bring the scope of the conversation outside the typical football and sports world, which leaves us with our BS or Bussin' Food Review segment. Can't wait for the BS or Bussin' Food Review segment to end our show. But first things first, I know the schedule has had some updates, James, but gonna be putting this MFTK Stingrays schedule out on the big screen so you can explain to the people when and where they should pull up to support the Stingrays.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So some of that got moved up. We have our bye week. We play the Bay Area Jags. Now we play them home on the 29th. But that's about the main thing. But we played last week against TME. Lost by 4 points. With 12 kids. But I think my roster is going to be like 25 today. 25 tomorrow night. Sutel, at the Legends Center. We should be pretty good. I just got a kid that just came out, Jeremy Evans, and holy shit, it like the kid made me want to rethink things. Like Dr. Umar will have to understand. If I'm going to have another kid, I'm going to have it with a white woman. John Brown, you got to cut I think the product might be too pure, but like I've been around too many light-skinned kids that are really, really good. Obviously, we're going to talk about one in Bryson Wright. He's mixed. But this kid, Jeremy, like I don't know what I did to be able to get around this many good athletes in my life, but this motherfucker is different. Like when I seen him, like I've been around different a lot. But when I tell you that this motherfucker is different, this motherfucker different. And like his mom came and was just all like, blah, blah, we need help with this. I'm like, okay, cool. Came out, boy got a luxurious beard. I mean, not beard, excuse me, mustache. His mustache is phenomenal for a 13-year-old. Never seen a mustache this impressive. But it's not just that he's big, and it's not just that he's fast. He actually knows what the fuck he's doing with his body. I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, yo, this motherfucker is nice. Like I'm like, yo. But so I'm looking forward to seeing that. I have a good quarterback. I have two good quarterbacks. You guys, if you've been following me since January, you know about Jumpman. Trey is going to be doing well. Trey got his interception last week. Hopefully, he's trying to get a pick a week. You know, and try to make sure each week he has in this episode of moving my family out to suburbs. We got some good talent. We got some good kids, and I'm hoping that they build upon what we built upon last week, where you just go out there, give everything you got, and let's go make some shit happen. Let's make some shit shake. That's the goal. It's I'm gonna put up the stuff. Yeah. Oh shit, CJ nice too though. Like, hey, you know, my guy Mac brought his jet out. Like, yo, I'm, you know, shit. Like, we got some cats, man, that I think if we keep them together and they remain coachable, I think we're gonna be fine. I just didn't like, but I got some guys on that 14U squad that are incredible. But yeah, yeah, man, they're so stupid. But anyways, we got some good stuff going on. Those guys are incredibly talented, and I can't wait to see what we're doing. We're going against Tyreek Hill's team. The South the Soul Runners is what the name is, but I'm gonna go watch the film. I saw a little bit, some big kids, but that's what we're playing this week. It says Duval Jags, but Duval Jags have some kids that they don't have a 13U, and their 14U wasn't exciting enough for them to stay in the best league in the state of Florida. They wanted to go play local ball, and I have no desire to be the best in Jacksonville. Like, that's like being the tallest midget. You're still short. Israel put that MF. Yeah, this is this official MF the last year's sweat. So I have some. If you got youth kids and you want to get them some fly, I do have these but they're in like youth XL, youth large. I don't have any adult sizes, but if you got some jits, you want to get in some MFTK gear, let me know. Or if they're just doing good in school, let me know. I'll hook them up with something extraordinary. We don't I don't reward mediocrity. But if they did something good, I got a book bag in a sweats for them if they're in elementary school age. But yeah, outside of that, MFTK all day. We should be having. I should have an MFTK store coming up here soon. As soon as I forgive my book bag guy, because he kind of pissed me off. But on to the next. This right here that Jay's about I'm excited. Nothing amazes me about what this kid and his family is able to do, but I'm gonna give some background of why I'm aggravated and pissed. It has nothing to do. Sold out. You cannot get these anymore for right now. The first run is sold out. He's the first ever high school kid to have a signature cleat. And this is the tweaker for B-Fi. And I'm trying to get a pair for myself. Get one signed, but I don't think he only got they it's the business side of it. Wouldn't let me do it. Wouldn't let them do it. But I am I just got email. I get these Gator Bowl emails. I'm Battle's been so great to us. We have a phenomenal relationship with them, and I love it. But originally, if anybody's been following the MFTK movement, we started with Domo 7v7. We were part of I was backing that. And the original goal was to make Bryson a Domo athlete. And I was working with them behind the scenes to do some stuff to be a part of it. Relationally, it didn't make sense. And I was trying to tell them, like, this isn't a regular kid. This is I've never seen this before. This kid is a walking bucket. Like, he's a good football player. He's handsome. He's intelligent, great family. Like, yo, we want to back this person. Circo has done a phenomenal job with what they're doing with Battle. They're probably eventually, it's hard to keep these kind of relationships with a guy like that because your Nikes, your Adidas, they're coming. But man, like, imagine if Domo would have listened to me and we would have, I would have fronted the money to be able to make this. And this is why some things, like, it's just amazing the things, like, when people don't, if people would just hear me out, buy in and listen to me, especially the things that I'm strong about, that I know about, will be, we'd all be multimillionaires at this point. But a lot of times people do care about who gets the credit and all this stuff. Put Father Mac, they don't even know that. Like, he put B5 as Booby Mouth. Like, 2 years ago, when I got really heavy into park ball, my son's 12U team, and they were all like, "You coach B5," and I'm like, "I don't know who the fuck B5 is." They're like, "Number 11." I said, "Oh, you mean Bryson?" "Yes, I coach Bryson Wright." And they were just like, and I asked my son, "Hey, would you want?" And this was 2 years ago. "You want Nikes, or do you want? Or if B5 came out with a cleat, do you want B5's cleat?" Almost all the kids said they want B5's cleat, and it's just like, I don't even know what to tell you, dog. Like, it's just like, I was trying to explain this to people, and people aren't hearing it. And I actually told somebody the background of this, and they're like, "Okay, well, who's the next B5?" And I'm like, "What?" like, bitch, we just got this one. I do think we can together collectively market to make some kids really, really good. But sometimes you capture lightning in a bottle, and you got to roll with it. So, but yeah, to sell out your cleats in an hour is fucking wild. It's really, really, really wild. For me, to just even fathom it. But I'm happy for him. Couldn't get my son no damn cleats though. What's my dog Reggie Smitty talking about? Put up, when's the MFTs? Hey man, we got nephew. I'm watching nephew. Like, oh yeah, if you shit, text me, Reggie. I actually do got if he wants a pair, not those B5 cleats, but I can't hook nephew up with some cleats though. They cheap though, but nah, but nah, that's that shit fire, dog. Like, I'm just so happy for the kid. It feel like my own son is doing this stuff though. Hey, they sold out though, but I'm mad that, like, hey, we could have made some more bread on this, but nephew nephew earned it. I'm just ready to be in the next commercial. That's all. I just want to be in the next Halloween battle commercial. So, but on to the next.
So with FSU season right around the corner, you have the FSU Labor Day tailgate, the FSU versus SMU game, top of lot 19 with the MFTK Foundation, Trials of Triumph, and Dope Talk. James, how do people get tickets to come to this Labor Day tailgate?
Well, right there, you got tickettailor.com/events, MFTK Foundation. You can go click on that. I just retweeted one. Freddie Stevenson's has retweeted this. CJ Wilson will probably be doing pods that day up there. Attractive people, so all you can eat, all you can drink. My boy Cheese just hit me up. I know Reggie doesn't like Cheese's baked beans, but other people do. They are quite tasty. Just Reggie doesn't like the spice that is in it. He calls them the pumpkin spice baked beans. You don't have to eat those, but we'll have burgers, hot dogs, ribs, chicken, mac and cheese, dirty rice, green beans, and then we'll have probably some brisket and some other stuff from Peachy Bros. We like to have two vendors that are there. It's all you can eat, all you can drink. We should have cigars. Red Bull will be Red Bull is one of the sponsors, as well as a few other ones. So come check us out. It's a good money goes to a good cause. I know what my cause is the MFTK Foundation, which you see what we do with 7v7. You see what we do with the mentorship. 2027, we got a big goal. I'm going to go a little bit heavier into it, especially now that I'm in the park ball world. I'm not 1,000% sure that I'll be out of it. I'll probably just do more as I'm moving forward because I got my baby boy coming up, and then Trey will be transitioning to playing at a higher level next year if he continues to progress. But I can tell you what my cause is. I can't tell you what CJ Wilson's or Freddie Stevenson's cause is. It could be cause they got bills to pay. Cause they want their wife like nice shit. Cause they got other shit to do. Like that's a good enough cause too. But the reason why we charge for tailgates is because if I just did a tailgate, don't none of y'all bring shit. That's the whole purpose of why I started charging for tailgates. People don't bring what they're supposed to bring. People won't even bring napkins, plates. They won't bring soda. They'll just bring themselves and then expect to eat. And I'm not doing it. I'm not dealing with the shit. Just bring me the money. And we'll roll from there. But outside of that, man, it's just I'm excited about football season, man. I don't know about y'all, but I can't wait. I think whether they win or not, if they win, I'm gonna have a good time. We're gonna win the tailgate. I know that. So that's the most important thing is winning the tailgate, and we'll take everything from there. If they lose the SMU, then shit. People suck. But I'm not gonna be negative until it's time to be negative. So that's just the big game way. But yeah, let's see if I can get my dog on the line. We got go ahead.
Sorry about that, but just want to put this on the big screen for everybody who may have not seen this, but you can join FSU and Peter Warrick on October 31st versus Clemson as they honor Peter Warrick as the 12th College Football Hall of Fame inductee, aka P Dub. So he is getting celebrated on Halloween, October 31st for his immaculate, marvelous career at FSU. So super, super happy to see this come up on the timeline.
Definitely. Oh yeah, what is that about? I gotta ask CJ what the nega nose is about. That sounds debaucherous. Like that sounds dangerous. Like dangerously racist. What? Nega nose?
Oh goodness.
Like I don't know. Like yeah.
Don't put that on a t-shirt.
Shit. Fuck that. Put that on the t-shirt. We might need to put that on the t-shirt. But yeah, my boy P Dub, congratulations to him. Like nobody, there's just like I just don't get. He's such a good guy. He'll be at the tailgate. I don't know why why we're friends. I'm just grateful that we are. Like, you ever just be around somebody that like you just around greatness, and you just sitting here like, I don't really belong here. Like, but he thinks I belong there. Which is kind of cool to think that the GOAT thinks that you're amongst the GOATs, but you know you're not amongst the GOATs. Like, I sit and shut the fuck up when Dub, Snoop, all these guys get to talking. That's when Big Game gets to just stop talking, because I don't want no problems. I don't want nothing. I'm just a happy to be here guy. But like that, I'm gonna tell you this: FSU needs to win for one reason and one reason alone, because that will be the biggest party weekend that we've ever seen. If I don't think we'll be in the playoffs. I think my team will be done at that. My son's park ball team will be done. Our last regular season game is October 17th. Then we've got, or even if we aren't, I'm moving the fucking game to Sunday. I got to be in the city for that. Like, that's just going to be lit. And that might be one of the best benefits of being fired from Duval County Public Schools and the principal at Mandarin believing that I shouldn't be around children, so that I can go to Tallahassee on Friday night and turn the fuck up with my dog Pete. Even actually, I think all the games would have been on Thursday anyway that week, but like, we're going to like turn, like, that city's going to be there. It's going to be, it'll be like 1999 all over again.
Does the principal of Mandarin have a book bag drive?
No, she doesn't. She's taken my book bags before though.
Okay,
she's definitely benefited from my my philanthropy. Like, just, she forgot all of that shit like real quick. Like, I'm like, yo, you literally got, like, hey, it just the Mandarin situation is weird. Like, I mean, shout out to my dog Herb, but I like it, but I just, that relationship is weird, and I'm not even like, I'm gonna get texts about, like, the day I talk about it is the day I'm gonna really talk about it, but I just don't feel like it. It's just not that pressing. But
don't worry, I'll flex the book bag drive for you.
But it's not just the book bag drive, man. Fuck them, fuck them bags, man. It's a lot of shit that we do. Like, I'm sitting like the foot, like, I'm like so right now they got a great thing with News for Jacks is going to follow them, right? They're tagging Mandarin University every time, like, on their social media thing, because nobody knows. Like, that's what everybody knows, and I'm like, bro, like, all right, I got it. This one, listen, I got some cats, and one of the things that I get from my boy Grimes. Grimes said one of the realest things I've ever heard before. Hold on. You're gonna need me way before I need you. And that's never a way that you always want to be, but like, that's why I always try to never like burn a bridge or anything like that. But it's all good. Like I said, me and the head coach, that's gonna always be my guy. But the principle is interesting. Like I said, we won't get into all of those things, because then it would be, people can never be accountable. Then it would be, I'm being a misogynist or some shit like that. It's like a Bill Burr put, when did white women put their 6-inch Louis Vuitton stiletto, swing it over the fence of racism or some shit like that? It was funny.
They cut the line.
Yeah, they cut the line for everybody else. Like, but anyways, but going into the FSU season, do we have, what other stuff we got, Jaden, with that? Or do we have any? Okay. We'll talk about the game. We'll get here to the game in a minute, because we are P-Dub days away, I believe, correct? Am I correct on that? 9 days away from the 29th. So we got, today's the 21st. So 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. Yep. Fuck it. We're not P-Dub days. We're Brian McFadden days away. We're 8 days away, but a lot of people, my boy Wayne Johnson, I agree, so many negative people, and the Naganos is the guy, cleaned it up real good. I did see that. He cleaned it up. It's for negative Knowles. It's not, it's It's not colored nose. It's negative nose. Actually, colored nose would be redundant, believe it or not, because Seminole tribe was escaped slaves mixed with natives, and that's how they became the Seminole tribe, for those who are interested in history, which is ironic to see somebody who could like FSU but hate black people. Because the Seminoles, huh?
Did it start off all white?
Florida State? Oh, it was very much so. It was a predominantly white institution. Started off all girls too. But what I'm saying is your mascot is, even though we have a fair-skinned person do it, Seminole tribe was literally escaped slaves mixed with Native Americans.
Man, racism doesn't care about history.
They don't. Like in a few years, they're gonna, when they do when they make the movie on Trey, I'm gonna be white. Like they're gonna just like white people are mad about the Iliad. Like Charles Heston wasn't like Moses. Like they're all brown over there. Like you had the whitest white man at the time become like, come on, dog. But anyways,
yeah.
FSU fans are negative, and we're negative because we want to troll, and we can't troll because we're not winning, which is taking us away from watching and analyzing what football is. At the end of the day, you are your record. But it's never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems. Even Ohio State's national championship in 2002 was full of close wins until they needed a major one. And it was just a lot of things that probably could go better. It wasn't a dominating national champion. Even our 13-0 season, a lot of we won the close games. But that's when you have guys that are not just necessarily bought in. You have great leadership. Great internal leadership is what leads to championships. If a coach has to coach you to a championship, you are not. Only teams that truly win championships, if you go and you listen to them, is player-led. The coaches are there to provide the infrastructure and what needs to happen. And right now, when you look at the things that Florida State has not had, it's not been just great quarterback play. They just haven't had great leadership at the quarterback position. DJU was not a great leader. Thomas Castellanos was a good player, but he couldn't will the team to win. It was too much reliant on him. But now what do you have at this Florida State part? Actually, Montre puts a good point. Like I was telling somebody on the pod, Florida State fan base calls my generation at Florida State the lost decade. I won 3 ACC championships, should have won 4, and was a couple missed kicks from playing in 2 natties. But I'm the lost decade. That's what I'm saying. So like when people are like, why, like you're spoiled as fuck.
Yeah, that's it.
Like I'm 42 years old. In my 42 years of life, Florida State has had 4. Wait, hold on. Jimbo. Well, that's not even. I'm not going to consider bowl games bad. So Jimbo, no tag. So 2019 we went to a bowl game. So this one, and Mike has had 4 of his 6 seasons bad. So we've had 5 bad seasons in my life. Like, I'm sorry, that's not anything to bitch about. Like, there's programs that have never, like, our failures would be considered their success. Now, I'm not saying drop the standard is the standard, and the standard is over everything. But let's just calm down with some of the things. And because again, we can go back and find NC State, Pitt, Stanford, and Virginia. And I got 4 wins for you. And FSU with 9 wins going into Florida is a completely different game. And we don't attack the middle of the field. But like some of the things that I like in Norvell's system is that he's got a tight end that's more that fits his system. It's more of a move tight end. I call it a fullback basically. And Riles, kid from Jacksonville, came from East Carolina, fits that billing very, very well. A bigger version, I always forget the young man's name. He plays for the Patriots now. Transferred to us from South Carolina. He fits that. We also have Uzman is looking really, really good. Sam Singleton's looking good. You've got some weapons. I think Florida State, Jaheim Bell, thank you. Florida State is in for a situation where they should win 8 or 9 games, but people are betting for them to go below 6 when that's like the only way that happens is if the boosters have come in and truly paid some guys to say we got to get rid of Mike Norvell.
Is it possible to have that quarterback leadership you talk about with transfers?
Yes. Because everybody has transfers. Like, that's the other part is stop acting like we're the only school that takes transfers. Miami has taken more transfers than Florida State. They've also recruited well. They've also booted the fuck out of a lot of kids. Like, Miami just has such a great media fan base as well that has done a great job of explaining what's going on. Like, to be honest with you, to me, like, don't quote me on this, but put Christmas on the over 6.5. And your kids should have a great Christmas. You should be able to donate a little bit of money to the MFTK Foundation for us to do some 7-on-7 shit. But I think a lot of this stuff, oh my bad, I didn't know we were going into that, but we get back into that. We got a game in 8 days. And we're playing now. The part that stinks about this is we're playing on the worst channel that you could possibly play. Hold on. We're playing on the CW. The CW is where all the weird shit happens. We're playing right after what time? I'm playing at 5, like right after Gilmore Girls, and reruns of Charmed. That's where CW is where Jordan Travis got hurt. That's where, like, every time there's a big time team that plays on the CW, something bad happens. So if Mike doesn't beat the CW curse and we lose to New Mexico State, fuck it. But I want you to blow that up, though, because there's something very disrespectful on CW. This is how I know CW is an unserious sports channel. There are the most famous Doak is not Campbell. Doak Campbell is the name of Florida State's president that got a football stadium on campus. Now, he was a known racist. He did not like black people coming to college. He didn't want black people integrating with the whites on the academic scale. And he turned down a lot of teachers. Like, they didn't even like black educators getting educated the same way. He was, to be honest with you, it's he's probably looking up at us right now, extremely upset that Florida State has been successful because of black people. But I'm gonna say whatever the times are. So it's 5 p.m. Mountain. So that means it's an 8 o'clock game. But Doak Walker is a famous running back, and the Doak Walker Award goes to the best running back in the nation. Doak Walker has absolutely no affiliation with Florida State. And the fact that this is on New Mexico State's, I'm assuming that's their 247 page, lets me know that this is an unserious program. And that's why we play at Doak Campbell Stadium at Bobby Bowden Field. But Florida State should be making their first dress rehearsal against a program that they should be able to dog walk. And if they aren't, that would give me some hesitation to truly be able to see what we need to do. But the game, again, 8 days, make sure you're there. Hopefully everybody has tickets. Hopefully everybody's getting ready to go. But this is the wild part that I wonder if this is just a trap to get us to bet. Because I don't want to gamble. But if they're giving us this, we have to. Seminole fan puts James, what happens if Mike loses to New Mexico State? Um, well, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen. Mike's gonna say, I gotta do a better job putting us in position to win. He's gonna do a lot of the other stuff. And probably once he gets to back home, like to his home of his place of residence in Tallahassee, Florida, they will probably say, "Hey, Mike, we ain't got it, dog. We we gotta go, bro. We gotta make a change right now. I'm sorry. We actually do like you. You're not a bad person. It's just not working. If you lose to New Mexico State at home,
they got it set at minus 31.5.
Wow. Ooh. See, the problem with that is I'd take that because they will blow out the people they need to blow out. They I don't see that one. I don't see that much. That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
But they did it last year. I forgot who they blew out like that last year. Which is kind of what slants the offense and the defensive numbers, is that where they were really, really good, they blew a lot of people out. Oh wow, there's all kinds of different prop bets you can make for things. They like, who do you believe will have more? It's plus 145 right now on Hard Rock for FSU for over 6.5. So if you put 1,000 down, you could win almost $1,500. Like that'd be a really good Christmas gifts for people. Definitely entertaining that. You know the one that's really interesting? Boston College. They don't think Boston College is going to win 4 games. Like, how bad is Boston College? The most bet win totals: Florida State under 6.5, Indiana under 10.5, Missouri under 6.5, North Carolina under 4.5, Kansas under 4.5. I don't even understand. I don't know those other programs, but Florida State, like, so just thinking of Florida State schedule, you got New Mexico State, that's a win. You got I know there's another directional school that should be a win. But like, I don't know. I guess I could see if you believe that they're 6-6, that's a push. So that would be the only way I would just believe that they're a 5-7 or a 6-6 team. And I would just be like, man, do you really believe, just off of what you've seen or what you've heard, that they're like, the only person is that bald headed dude from Locked On. Do we have that? Is that in our notes, Jaden?
No, but I can pull it up right quick.
Yeah, because I want to listen to. I have a. I don't have nega. You could be a nega, no, all you want, but I have a bone to pick when you're trying to be you're an expert, I guess, but nobody knows who you are. Like, and this is the issue. Like, there's people who really are credentialed out, trying to get credentialed to do this for real, and you ain't never been. Anyways, let's find that. But I guess we can get that at the end of the. Is there any other stuff in the Florida State segment?
Yes, we got a quick recap while I find the video you're talking about of the FSU ladies on the pitch. Soccer season is here, and we are a football school, and the Noles have been doing a great job so far. They had a shutout win over FAU 3-0. Hopefully the ladies are looking forward to going back to that championship caliber that we know they are. And man, I'm just super excited to report on these scores for everybody. And FSU has been doing their thing on the pitch. And I have found that Locked On Seminoles video I will put on the screen right now. Let me make sure the sound is on in that window tab for you guys. Gonna close it out right quick. And yes, I did see this on the timeline. A lot of controversy surrounding this right here from Locked On Seminoles with the caption, Florida State's practices have been not good, in all caps. And they posed the question, is FSU doomed? So let's see what Locked On has to say, and let's see what James has to say about that video. For some reason, the sound is not sharing on my end. The sound, oh, never mind. They just updated it and moved the sound icon. So I'm going to put it on the screen. And please let me know if you guys can hear it as well when I press play.
Hold on real quick. Hey, keep Bryson Wright from around A1 and no cut Nick. Keep Jit from around him. They're trying to get him at Miami. We don't need that. Heard Chaminade trying to pay for his services next year. Everybody's trying to pay for Bryson Wright's services. He's not going to. He knows the quarterback at Chaminade very well. I wouldn't entertain no haircut Nick at A1 recruiting them too much. They had a great photo op at AB's wide receiver academy that they were all at. Outside of that, it's really just Bryson. I like his people. We'll know more in January. But right now, Bryson Wright is definitely a Mandarin Mustang. So he ain't leaving. I can't foresee that right now. But nothing's out of the realm. Going to Chaminade doesn't really benefit him a whole lot, but him going to Miami has nothing to do with those guys. Or not. Miami's doing a good job recruiting him. Believe it or not, Florida is as well. Texas would be who I would look out for. That's just my opinion on all of it right now. It's not a money thing. The motherfucker just sold out his own cleat. I mean, to be honest with you, he's if we're looking at from a business perspective, right? If I'm going anywhere, I'm going to a large market that has a large alumni base and a large fan base. And I'm not saying any of this. This is just me just talking. This definitely isn't anything, bro. I want to make sure I preface that. But it would not be Chaminade. Chaminade is a 1A school. Think like Grayson. Think not after Grayson got the ass whooped, but think Creekside, Atlanta, those schools like that you're going to go to a venue and you're going to play in front of 15 to 20,000 people on a high school level. And the only schools down south that are like that would be schools that don't necessarily fit how he is, like Carroll City with stuff like that. But even though I like what Carroll City's doing, but that was the rumor. Remember, everybody's asking me about where Bryson's going, and I'm like, listen, dog, I don't believe I would find out Bryson Wright is transferring through social media. I think I would probably be one of the first ones to know, if not breaking it.
Appreciate the super chat.
But yeah, definitely I just wanted to make sure we wanted to talk about that. I know you're just checking in, brother. And I appreciate that. I'm gonna take that $7 that Google's gonna end up giving me later on. But let's listen to what the not insight, what do you call it? The insiders that ain't inside got to say about shit.
But after winning 5 games last year, multiple sources and multiple outlets, for that matter, have stated that Florida State's recent practices, and I'm trying to be delicate here, but weren't very good. They're tired of hitting each other and all that, but every team has that problem. It sucks beating up on your friends, and I'm sure there's fights and all that, because that's what football is. People grinding against each other. They're going to get under each other's skin. But guys not snapping the ball at the right time, when the ball's snapped, sometimes guys not getting off the snap at just pure mental, debilitating, horrible football has seeped into practice, and it's random. What does that sound like? And yes, again, I'm glass half empty guy. That sounds like the last 2 seasons. But after winning 5 games last year, multiple.
You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid to name the sources in this. This is
the problem is you can't name the sources because you don't have any sources because news outlet, there's no fucking media at practice. Like this is my issue with y'all. This isn't Mike Norvell not letting media in. This isn't players playing bad. This isn't 5 and 7. Who the fuck is this guy? He has no sources. One, nobody. I'm not media. I don't cover Florida State. I cover the Jacksonville Jaguars. There is no media there. Everybody who's been there has actually said if you've been to a fucking his rationale was sometimes the ball wasn't snapped. So you mean there was a false start in practice? You mean somebody jumped, a defender was driven off sides in practice? Have you watched football before? That, you know what? That happens in games, buddy. Like nothing you said in that clip. You ain't gotta know who I am, brother, because at the end of the day, I know where I can walk and where you can't. So, in a quick Google search, and you know what? Check this right here. I'm gonna tell you who the fuck I am. SMU game, when they're doing the preview of the stadium, they're gonna show a game that I played that if you're an FSU fan, you watched. I happened to score a pretty iconic touchdown there. Had a couple of them, had 10 of them to be exact. But the reality of the situation is this. You haven't asked a former player who's been in practice. I know you don't have nobody else on the inside. And what you just said was a bunch of bullshit. You pulling shit out your ass. And that's on Locked On Magazine. I mean, not Locked On Magazine. That's on Locked On Pod, who does a great job with the NFL. Shout out to my dog T-Wick. But, brother, that's my dog TJ Pitteger's lane. You stay the fuck out. You stay in your lane, and you let TJ, who I actually know has sources, on the inside, and he's more of a negative guy. And there's nothing wrong with being a glass half empty guy if you actually have something in the goddamn glass. You ain't got nothing. The only thing in that glass is air. You didn't name again, just vague shit that just didn't happen.
Right. He made it sound like he read it on a news report. I'm like,
right. Well, not just sources, multiple outlets. What outlet? What outlet was at practice? I would like to know. What outlet was at a closed fucking practice that legitimately said this is what they saw, because they would never be invited to another practice again, because I know they literally come and they tell you hey, keep that shit a wrap. Because again, the practices that I saw, guys were flying around, they were hitting, they were banging, and then just they're tired of hitting each other. No shit. And then you said it. And then you said it in the next breath. Have you ever been in camp before? Everybody's fucking tired. But that's the shit to practice. But nothing you said, okay, let's try to at least provide some context. At least when Baloo said a few years ago that there was 20 drops in a row. I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's an exaggeration. But at least it was something that was stating there were a lot of drops in the practice. And we had an issue right after that with drop passes, if I remember correctly. But the ball so you're saying they just went a whole fucking practice and the ball was just going everywhere. You really think that happened? Just real talk, fuck who I am and who you are. You really think that I coach park ball, my son's park ball team, and that shit don't happen on that level. And again, it's just Is that again? You know what? If that's how you make your bread, Poppy, hey dog.
That's the part.
Then cool, like no doubt. Oh, he's a. Then that motherfucker lying if he a Canes fan. That bitch knows exactly who I am. Then Andre, number 36 in your meeting guy, number 1 in your heart. But what I don't like is when we, and this is the issue, when we have people that are cover or don't. But like, there's guys like my brother CJ wants to do this for real. There are guys who, like Lolo, like Logan Robinson, does this shit for real. Like, I actually even like, to be honest with you, the new 247 guys are actually being a little bit better about it. Jeff Cameron might be still a little negative, but that's because Jeff was here when this shit was built. But a lot of y'all just really just got to cut that shit, dog. And stop giving cats like this a fucking platform, because it's that's some bullshit. Or just like, I mean, you don't got to expose your source. I get that. But like, that's just, to me, when I hear people say shit like that, that just makes me feel like, oh, you ain't got no source.
Right.
So wild times we live in, though.
Let's keep on with some college football talk and progress through this with this list right here of the top 10 BCS and CFP controversies. And the Florida State Seminoles are on here at the number 1 spot and that number 6 spot. But 2023, 13-0 takes that number 1 spot for the top 10 BCS/CFP controversies according to the next round. Then 2004 Auburn team, the 12-0 Auburn team that was left out. 2003 USC being left out. Oklahoma gets in after losing Big 12 title game 35-7. Then the 2001 at the number 4 spot, Nebraska getting in over Oregon after losing the Big 12 title game 62-36. 2011, Bama rematches LSU and Oklahoma State gets left out. 2000, Florida State gets in over Miami. 2014, TCU falls from number 3 to number 6. 2017, Bama gets in over Big Ten champion Ohio State. 2008, Utah being left out at 12-0 despite being an undefeated team. In 2009, 5 undefeated teams and only 2 got a shot. Alabama and Texas getting that BCS championship spot. But what do you think about this list, James, of the top 10 most controversial BCS and CFP moments?
I personally think 6 should be 2 and 2 should be 11, because fuck Tommy Tuberville, even though, all jokes aside, like, they did get robbed. Auburn did. That was a really good Auburn team that should have been in. But Miami definitely has a case that year that they should have been in a natty that season. Probably would have went to 3 straight. Like Florida State that went to 3 straight. If that would have happened, they definitely would have won that year. Those would be my ones that, but yeah, definitely Florida State being 13-0 and being robbed of that was crazy. I think the quarterback play wasn't that great that year anyway, and Florida State's defense was just that good to be able to do that. But as I was telling somebody, when you lose 11 guys that were on NFL rosters that next season, it's very difficult to beat anybody. It's the reason why those guys were starting. Like, that's a NFL squad, especially that defense. So, but yeah, those would be I like, just get 2 out of there, put 6 at 2, and I think you got a really good list.
Next, we have some crazy news coming from Penn State, but as football fans, we know that Penn State has been in the news before for crazy things with that program, with that school, but 13 Penn State frat brothers were charged with running a cocaine trafficking ring, with some pledges allegedly forced to cut and package cocaine as part of their indoctrination. into the frats, and we actually got a video explaining the situation as well from CBS Evening News. So I'm going to put this on the screen for you guys so we can get some more information about this Penn State cocaine ring.
Two fraternities at Penn State University are at the center of a highly profitable cocaine ring, according to state prosecutors, who say the drugs were cut and packaged right there in the frat houses, sometimes by pledges. Among those charged, 13 current and former students and one student's father. More now from CBS's Michael George.
Investigators say all but one of the 14 charged were Penn State students at the time of the alleged criminal conduct. Pennsylvania's Attorney General Dave Sunday says the drug operation was run inside two fraternity houses in 2023 and 2024.
Cocaine was primarily packaged at the fraternity houses. And in fact, we found a pattern of events that showed cutting and bagging cocaine was, for some pledges, an indoctrination into the Delta Upsilon and Sigma Chi fraternities.
Authorities say the two main dealers were senior members of the fraternities.
Agostino Abatiello was at the very top of the chain. Thomas Robinson was a rung below that on the ladder.
According to the criminal complaint, the drugs were sold at parties and other college social events. One defendant is accused of buying more than 5 pounds of cocaine in a 9-month period. 6 defendants are facing felony charges. 8 others are charged with misdemeanors. Penn State says it's placing Delta Upsilon on interim suspension pending an investigation. It says Sigma Chi isn't recognized by the university.
The packaging happened at off-campus fraternity houses.
And there was one non-student charged. Paul Robinson, the father of one of the suspects. Authorities say he concealed evidence, including a safe containing drugs and cash. Tony?
Not a bonnet, not a do-rag, no slippers, no pajamas. Well, upstanding students moving cocaine. Like, again, like it'd be so funny. Like, we just had all these controversies in the black community about, well, you don't want to be looking like a thug or looking hood and do, but then the thuggish hood activities are being done here.
Right. Actually, when I went to Penn State, this was not in the news. Kids I went to was pretty close with, I want to say about 5 of them were robbing banks. Before we got to the main campus, they were robbing banks. They finally got caught and probably still in jail now because on the escape, they shot a police dog.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But Pennsylvania has a bunch of rural towns. That stuff that they're talking about is rampant. It's been rampant since I was there. Like, it's everywhere.
Florida, if you see in Florida State's, they're on white dorms. I mean, they're white frat house, frat row. Tons of drugs. I have friends who made a lot of money on them.
Right.
Like, I just sit and I laugh at people on their social media comments when they try to paint crime in one way. And I tell people, get off of your thumbs and go live. And you're going to see and notice that, hey, there's a lot of what we consider hood or ghetto. There's a lot of hood and ghetto shit out there that ain't just, that don't look like what you think it looks like. I grew up in the, partially because maybe I was around the right people, but I've never been robbed by a black person before. Never. You know who's robbed me? Men in suits.
For sure.
Way worse than any kind of gun. I would rather have a gun in my face and give up the couple $100 in my pocket than some of the robberies that I've gotten, that the fleecing that I've got done with me.
My car insurance is robbing me right now.
Right now. Terrible. I don't give a fuck about the fentanyl crisis. I care about the insurance crisis. Like, that's keeping me, that is killing me right now.
Try and get a computer partner.
Right. Like, I'm just like, you're making life decisions on like, well, man, I finally got a car. Well, now you have to pay $700 a month to operate that bitch. If you don't pay that, if you don't pay the $700 a month, then we're going to suspend your license. And then you're going to get a ticket. then what you don't know is that's a misdemeanor if we pull you over.
Right. That's why people hit and run.
Like, it's just like, yo, it's like, but here's the people that, but even then, you know what? I personally, I don't care that they're selling drugs. You know why? Because somebody has to buy the drugs.
Right.
So there is a market for it, especially in a little bump. Ain't hurt nobody. But all you did was create a vacuum, and you made it harder on everybody else because now there's a drought.
Right.
We know that. So you just made the price of Coke go up for everybody.
Right. This ain't like crack in the 80s. They're college kids.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, man. Like
destroying the hood.
And yeah, so you don't care about the hood.
Right.
Like they're learning right now, the way I see it, they're learning a little not about chemistry, right? They're utilizing mathematics, so they know the metric system. So you're breaking it down and cutting it. Business logistics, exactly. Distribution. You're marketing a product that you can't publicly market on socials, but everybody knows that it's doing it because clearly you're making money because you're buying more bricks. And you are you're boosting the economy. You're keeping the money in. Trying to think what else we're doing. Like, it's a lot of good things. I think a lot of times the way we prosecute drugs is a little bit different. Like, to be honest with you, like right now, you need experience, right? Jaden, internship stuff. Like, you got to have, like, show that you're working and stuff, right? I've never had a real job, but a lot of y'all have to have a work history, right? What better way to get into the pharmaceutical industry by showing that you know that you've worked in a pharmaceutical industry before?
Or sales.
Sales?
I mean, some of my drug dealer friends would have been so good at sales.
Give them an opportunity to make money doing something else. Clearly, they have the ambition.
Right.
But I'm just utilizing this by saying that while everybody's upset about bonnets and shit, and you need to dress like you've dressed for success. Well, the people who are dressing for success are moving weight. Which one would you rather, the bonnet or the? I mean, be honest with you, I really, again, like I said, I personally got bigger things to care about. But this is just further proof that who the fuck cares. So, yeah, still wild. Penn State. They got to come out with like I'm in love with the Coco or something like that when they do their whiteout.
Oh yeah, and the kids were colored who robbed the banks. But they were all out of the military.
They're all so
yeah. They had hit the work world and was like,
nah, son.
Yeah, this ain't.
Davis. I didn't even think about money management.
Yeah.
Like, bro, there's so many things that you can learn from these things. Like, you can put these people into, like, but we need more. We need people to be in the prisons. So, you've seen what's happened in Texas? Crime has gone down so much now that they legalized weed that they unlegalized it.
Really?
Yeah.
Now
it went from being legal to now it's illegal again.
That's so blatant because prisons are privatized.
Listen, brother, like, once you realize the game is rigged, now it's just up to you to figure out how you want to play it. Like, just like, all right, just do you know what you're doing? Okay, all right, just keep me the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I'm staying out of Texas.
Here it is, everybody. One of the most controversial times of this football season. The first AP Top 25 CFB poll is out, and here are your rankings. So at number 1, AP has ranked Ohio State as the best of the best in college football. Then Oregon at 2. Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas, Indiana, the reigning champions at 6, Miami at 7, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Then you have LSU, Texas Tech, Bama, BYU, USC, Michigan, Washington, Penn State, SMU, Tennessee, Utah, Iowa, Houston, Louisville, and Missouri. And at that number 10 squad, Oklahoma has just extended their head coach's contract as well for, I believe, 6 more years. So he's looking to keep on keeping on in Oklahoma. Yes, he did agree to a 6-year contract with Oklahoma. And James, what do you think about this top 25 list? Any surprising teams and any surprising spots or what?
Just Iowa and Missouri just always baffle me while they're there. Missouri, I think they just have to have a certain amount of SEC teams in their top 25 for them to feel like it's good. But like, I like Ohio State. Oregon should be outside of the top 5 until they prove otherwise. I would really like for them to start measuring these rankings based upon expected outcomes at the end of the season, because it's supposed to be a projection, right? There's no way Ohio State and Oregon can be number 1 and number 2, and Indiana be number 6 if you believe that they're going to how they're going to finish the season. Georgia, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, it's impossible for those guys to all be top 10. I don't know what Texas Tech has now that their quarterback is gone for them to be ranked so high, but I know the rest of the team is pretty good. The Mormons, okay. I would like to see somebody other than USC and Michigan at this point, because I don't believe that they have much going on for them. But I really just wish they would just leave rankings to about week after the first few weeks of play, and then let's try to make an adjustment or an analysis based upon what we have seen. But there's no real controversy in this list. It's just the fact that I think there's too many SEC teams. I don't think the SEC is as dominant as what everybody says.
Let's take a look at some Big 12 topics and teams as we close out the show. And man, we got some news coming from Deion Sanders, Colorado Buffaloes head coach, because Deion Sanders has been subpoenaed to appear in Shiloh Sanders' bankruptcy trial, which is set to begin during the same week of Colorado's season opener at Georgia Tech on September 3rd. It's unclear at this point, according to Yahoo Sports, if Sanders will be called to testify or if he will look to fight the subpoena due to the scheduling conflict.
He should be able to get out of that. If you have a work conflict, but definitely. I don't know why they want him per se. Like, what do I have to do with my son being broke? Like, I'm not broke. I'm rich. But that's kind of just the way it is being a parent. Got to answer for these badass kids. That part. No, that's the other. This is for the one we like.
Oh.
But it comes down to because he got sued because he beat up somebody at the school that Deion ran.
Oh.
And that guy sued him, and part of not being able to pay that is you have to restructure. Bankruptcy doesn't mean you're broke; it just means you're restructuring the way you pay some certain things. So, it's unfortunate for Deion. Deion's ready to go anyway, so. Like, he's not going to be at Colorado much longer. I think right now at this juncture, he's trying to get fired so he can get that bag. But he's not. His heart ain't. He ain't 10 toes down like he was when he first started. I just thought about that.
You gotta stop.
It's impossible. It's impossible for him to be 10 toes down. He's only got 8.
This man has not done that much.
Nah, man, fuck Deion. Fuck Deion with Magic Johnson's dick, man. I don't give a fuck about Deion Sanders, man. Like
Ali Sadiq thing when he kept running into that guy.
Yeah, the prison, the warden, like, yeah, like, nah, man. Nah, fuck Deion, bro.
I know the fans have definitely been enjoying these posts right here from the weirdest opponent every CFB team has faced. And speaking of the Big 12, we have the Big 12 Conference. So let's start off with Arizona facing off against Camp Harry J. Jones in 1920, winning 167-0. Arizona State playing Arizona freshman 1929, losing
So
7.
you gotta chill. Like, I learned this on the last one, Jaden. Like, we can't just read past it. There's an L in some of these.
Yeah.
Like, Arizona State lost to a bunch of seamen. They lost to fishermen, dog. Like, that's crazy.
Baylor winning against the
freshmen, not fishermen, my bad. I thought it said fishermen.
Baylor winning against the Deaf and Dumb Institute in 1903, 6-0.
That was a tough one.
Did we change that phrasing? Like, do we still call them dumb when they can't?
No, that's definitely politically incorrect. But you got to think, during that time, they was slapping women on TV. Talking about, you want a fresh one, Susan? Why I oughta. Like, yeah, they got dumb. They can say, they could go hard R, both of them. Like it's just crazy back then.
BYU facing off and losing against the San Diego Marines 21-0, 1933. Cincinnati winning against the Ohio National Guard in 1897, 20-0. Colorado beating the Denver Wheel Club in 1900. They lost to the Denver Wheel Club in 1900, 11-0. I hope that's not the wheelchair club, because that was
what is a wheel club?
I'm looking it up.
You said it was 1900?
Yes. Let me see what the wheel club is.
Oh, wow, they were cyclists.
They lost to a bunch of cyclists.
I mean, they got strong legs.
We have another cycling club, if you can see it, West Virginia, at the end of this.
And they won too.
Yo, we might have to recruit some cyclers. Maybe there's a hidden gold mine there.
Houston winning against Fort Hood in 1946.
Oh man, hold on! I got some research though that I got to go back. That was they had to go back and they had to avenge their loss in 1895. So in 1895, Colorado beat the hell out of the Denver Wheel Club 32-0 in Boulder.
So it's a get back game.
Yeah, so it was
for the cyclists who do not play.
They had to come and redeem themselves.
They better be nasty at cycling.
Like, that's wild. Because this is so interesting. I'm locked in now, man. I'm locked in. Hold on, let me
imagine if they sucked at cycling and they beat their ass.
So it was October 22nd. It was a abnormally cold October 22nd in 1900 when the Denver Wheel Club defeated the University of Colorado. Unlike their 1895 meeting, the Denver Athletic Club successfully shut out the university squad, then known as the Silver and Gold. The loss was one of 4 defeats suffered by Colorado during their 1900 campaign that finished the season with a 6-4 record under then head coach Theron W. Mortimer. The game highlights a brief period at the turn of the century when regional cycling and athletic clubs regularly competed with and frequently beat major college football programs. Yo, that is information that's mad interesting. Like, wheel clubs was just dominating football Division I football teams.
Maybe we're a cyclist nation and we don't even know it.
But go ahead. That was wild. I just didn't realize that.
Then in 1946, Houston beat Fort Hood 32-7. Iowa State won against Rush Medical College 10-0, 1898. And Kansas beat Kirksville Osteopaths in 1901, 17-6. Kansas State beat the Kansas City Veterinarians 32-0 in 1907. Oklahoma State lost to the Tulsa Businessmen 6-5 in 1905. TCU winning against the First Texas Artillery in 1917, 20-7. Texas Tech beating the Notre Dame B team 39-0 in 1932. UCF, with a more recent year, beating Moscow, Russia 43-6 in 1992. Utah shutting out Oregon Short Line Railroad 50-0 in 1904. And another cycling club beat West Virginia in 1896 with the shutout victory of 26-0. Shout out the Mahoning Cycle Club.
It just says Moscow, Russia.
Like they beat the whole city.
Yeah, like
they beat communism. The wall fell, and then they decided to beat Moscow. That's wild, man.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to this list. We're definitely going to keep you guys updated. We'll see the ACC should be on here soon. Should get posted soon, but just a great piece of content that gets everybody involved with the good laugh and some history in the mix as well. Now, James, I have some great news before I ask you your opinion of what you saw from the Jaguars and the Panthers joint practice. But we got some quick updates before you give your input on the squad now that we are at the NFL section for today. And we love to kick this off with some Jaguars talk. So we have some great news with one of the pieces of our team that had the most questioning regarding them, and that is the O-line. So shout out to Cole Van Lanen because he is coming off the PUP list today, and that post was made on August 20th, yesterday, having passed his physical. He injured his knee in week 18, and now he is set to return to the field. And James, we also have an update because it looks like the Jags needed some bodies on that offensive line, and so according to Adam Schefter, Jaguars acquired the O-lineman Daniel Falele from the New York Giants in exchange for a 6th round selection in the 2027 NFL draft. Just want to repeat that as well. Jaguars are acquiring the offensive lineman Daniel Falele. I always butcher his name, Falele, from the New York Giants in exchange for a 6th round pick. Now, James, I know you know who he is because he was with the Ravens, and man, he has a whole bunch of memes associated with his play. So Jaguars needed some bodies on that O-line. We got somebody for that 6th round pick. But those are some quick updates before I want you to give your experience during that Jaguars and Panthers joint practice.
Man, the Jags beat the shit out of the Panthers. It was insane. Like, I was on this so shout out to my homegirl Sheena, shout out to Vashta. I saw both of them. Met some other cool cats. So saw my guy T-Wig. We talked. The defense was like Tetris over there. Whatever his name is, Tutet Hamid over there with Panthers is good. If that were a game, Bryson Young would be like Tua. Like just physical. The secondary was biting. There were big hits. They were really taking the fight to Carolina's offense. And it was looking bad in one-on-one pass rush drill because the man with 2 last names was looking very confused. Like, he was getting his ass whooped. But then when they went to team, he got active when it mattered. But I'm watching the defense, and I'm just kind of looking at the other fields of the offense, and all you hear is cheering, which means our offense was winning. And then I would look, and then I would just see the running back running by himself. Like, they broke like 10 long runs. If you watch that joint practice, right, you're going to come out saying the Jaguars are going to the goddamn Super Bowl. either the Panthers just had a really, which just happens. Like you could have just had a rough day, and the Jags just had your number that day. But like, if we played the Panthers every day, we would win. But I don't know what to tell you from what I saw because they couldn't hit the quarterback, and some of the completions that Bryce Young had were after 6 seconds. Bitch, you done. I saw the offense from the Panthers getting bullied and getting physical and hit. And then I saw the Jags doing that to the Panthers defense. But when the Panthers defense got chippy, the O-line chipped back. It was like 10 skirmishes on the other side. It was lit. The Jags offense was like, fuck yeah, we coming to set the goddamn tone. We coming to whip ass. But BTJ is looking like rookie year BTJ. Like he's more comfortable. Like he could, like again, we'll know more tonight. I'm gonna go check out the game. I watched the first couple of drives before I get out of there. But it was definitely a lot. Like it was physical. I was shocked at how they were just getting active on Carolina. Like it was like I came in with no expectations. I was just out there because again, I'll go out next week because my guy Logan Robinson will be there, and I want to go check out him. He covers the Bucks and FSU, but I really only came out there because Sheena brought nephew out there, and I had a backpack for him and some stuff, and but like when I was watching, I'm like, damn, these Jazz boys looking like somebody said something about somebody's mama. But that was my takeaway was it's a much more physical team than I was expecting it to be.
Huge shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully they can do what they did last year and even more with that squad with the second year head coach Liam Cohen. Looking forward and super excited that they did do some great things in that joint practice. And there is the game tonight, Carolina Panthers at the Jaguars today at 7:30 p.m. for anybody who may not have known or heard. And James, it's funny that you mentioned the Tampa Bay Bucks because somebody on that team just got paid. So Vita Vea, the two-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle in the Bucks, reached an agreement on a 1-year extension for $30 million, tying him to Tampa for 2 more seasons. He gets $6 million in new money this season. So this was made on August 19, 2026 is when this post was posted, and it looks like the extension talks between Vita Vea and the Bucks are now finally over.
Real quick, breaking news. The 10th Circuit has granted the NCAA's stay request. Basically, the nationwide injunction is now stayed pending appeal, meaning qualifying class of 2022 athletes lose their 5th season again. So, like, guys, go get a job. But Vita Vea getting paid, definitely earned it. Definitely a good thing. Actually, I'm curious to see how the offensive line will go up against him. A very good detailed interior guy. The Buccaneers are in the NFC South, so they should be, poised with Baker coming back, pissed off that he didn't get his bread. So, like, it should be some good stuff going on coming up here for this season.
We have to talk about an AFC South rival with the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts have added a new wide receiver, James, and that wide receiver is Keenan Allen. The Colts are signing 6-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Keenan Allen to a 1-year deal worth up to $8.32 million. So the wide receiver is going to our AFC South rival. Just want to give you guys an update on that as well.
Good for them. I don't think that helps. I mean, this would have been great 5-6 years ago.
Definitely would have been great. And we have, sadly, some injury updates for you guys just to keep you updated. And Any NFC South fans in the building, any Saints fans, you probably already heard this news, but your wide receiver, Jordan Tyson, this year's first round draft pick for the Saints, the wide receiver from ASU and who was at Colorado as well, is expected to miss about 2 months because of a hamstring injury. So bad news for the Saints and their wide receiver. So man, sucks for them. And James, we also have another injury as well. Brees Hall suffered a groin strain today. Should miss about a couple of weeks as well for any of my Jets fans out there. He did go down in the injury in practice with the non-contact injury. So a lot of people were worried what that injury was. And now we have some insights on that as well. And since we're on that injury train, thank you to Underdog NFL for giving us this condensed list of week 1 statuses to monitor. Pat Mahomes with his knee, optimistic that he plays. Jeremiah Love, ankle, hoping to play in week 1. CMC, tightness, expected to be okay. Brees Hall, out the next 2 to 3 weeks. Kyle Monengai, knee, expected to miss multiple weeks. Josh Jacobs, potential suspension. Puka as well. Malik Neighbors, trending towards playing. Luther Burden, hopeful. Alec Pierce, believed to be ready. And George Kittle, on track to return, according to Underdog NFL.
Wow. Those are all like those injuries. So the suspensions are trash too. But yeah, man. If you've ever pulled your groin, this sucks. It feels like somebody's taking an ice pick to your nuts. Like, it just doesn't feel comfortable. Not at all. But definitely a pain tolerance injury.
Wishing a speedy recovery to all those players out there as well. I know they definitely want to get back on that football field. And James, I don't think the Giants trust running back Cam Scatterbo with all his off-field shenanigans, because Giants officially signed running back Najee Harris. I think this was a great move by the Giants. Najee started his career in Pittsburgh, was a Los Angeles Charger, now on his third squad with the New York Giants, hoping to split carries with Cam Scatterbo and the other running backs on that squad. And with that, they released wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. So be prepared to see a Najee Harris in that backfield with Jackson Dart.
I mean, again, older back, knows what he's doing. You know, Scatterbo it's Scatterbo's job until it's not. Yeah, until he knocks himself out, which could be tomorrow.
Yeah, good chance for you.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, most definitely. And shout out this old head right here, man, because he keeps a job. Shout out the OG right here, Mr. Zadarius Smith. Excuse me, Mr. Zadarius Smith. Excuse me, guys, because the Falcons are signing him, the 3-time Pro Bowler, to a 1-year deal. Smith was in deep talks with the Browns, but Atlanta made a strong push to land the former All-Pro. So shout out to Mr. Smith on getting that chicken and going to the Dirty Birds, the Falcons. So huge shout out to Zadarius Smith. And since we're on that bird talk, James, Diggs has signed a 1-year deal with the Seahawks. Yes, Stephon Diggs' brother, Trayvon Diggs, has signed a 1-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks.
Wait a minute. This isn't. I just put it all together. Like, this isn't the one. Wait a minute, because we've been giving Stephen all the booty talk. This isn't the one that threatened to beat him up, is it?
This is his brother. I don't know what you mean.
I'm saying, but the brother was in the law. The brother's lawsuit was dropped. Oh, anyway, yeah. This is the Diggs boys got some issues, but he's one of those boomer bust corners. Yeah. He's either getting cooked or he's getting an interception. There's nothing in between.
For sure. Definitely a risky corner for sure. And just want to keep you guys updated with the reigning Super Bowl champs and the recent acquisition at the defensive back cornerback position.
Oh, it's another brother. They got another brother. So it wasn't this one. is Derez Diggs. The brother who doesn't have, the brother who didn't make it is the one who was in the lawsuit too. I was curious. I was concerned.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says it is inevitable that the league will eventually have a team permanently based outside the United States. He says that it is inevitable. So, James, where do you think the first international NFL team will be located? Mexico, England, Australia? Where in the world do you think?
It'd be Toronto or Toronto or Mexico City. Like, it won't be like what people are thinking. Like, logistically, it's fucking impossible. Like, you would have to almost expand the league exponentially, which will water it down. And you would have to try to figure out some tax codes and things so people don't have an advantage. But like there's no way I'm going to play London. Or they would shift to almost like it's not even a basketball, like, because again, like, you just like the difference between going to Jacksonville to London and Jacksonville to Cali is probably not that far off. I don't really 100%. You gotta forgive me. I don't know what the flight. What is the flight? What is a flight? Because there is no real direct. But let's see, Jacksonville to London flight. It takes 13 hours, but that's the whole trip. Hold on. 11-hour direct flight? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's probably that. Because, like, if you leave you can get a direct from Charlotte there on American, and it's 10 and a half. I mean, it's 10 hours. So, yeah, I couldn't do it. No. I mean, how far is it from, if I did direct from Jacksonville to Washington? Because all of these flights would be chartered. Yeah, you're adding another, so it's 7.5 to 9 hours from Jax to Charlotte to Seattle. So anybody from the West Coast heading over that way, it's not a. I mean, anybody from the East Coast, it's not a close flight, but it's further. But Toronto is like flying to New York, so it's not. I can see Toronto, Mexico City, something like that, or even the other spot on the West Coast of Canada. Is Montreal?
Vancouver.
That's what I'm trying to think of. Yeah. So like I can see those places. But I don't care what they do. It's just logistically not feasible to go over across the pond.
Can't wait to see what NFL teams pop up outside of that United States. Can't wait for that. And we got an update, James, regarding Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator. We know he's been going through some crazy family struggles. And Eric Bieniemy said Tuesday that his wife, Mia, is on track to make a full recovery after she was allegedly shot by the couple's son last month in the family's home in Virginia. So super happy to hear that she's going to be making that full recovery from getting shot. Because, man, this story is just getting crazier and crazier the more times we hear about it.
Yeah, allegedly shot. Like,
yeah, I think Adam was just trying to be politically correct, but yeah, it's scary, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
Definitely scary. So, James, I got to ask you a question as someone who covers the Jags, as someone who covers the NFL, posed by Fox Sports NFL. Which QB out of these quarterbacks or anyone you can think of is under the most pressure to win that Super Bowl? Josh Allen, Lamar, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, Dak, or another quarterback that isn't on this list?
I would say under the pressure. Like really, Lamar is the only one. Lamar got a new coach. I think it's not fair. I personally think Josh Allen is the one who should be under the most pressure because he's the most overrated quarterback that hasn't done anything. But Dak has been there. I didn't realize Dak's been there that much. I thought he was a lot older than what I was than the other guys, but nobody really cares about Jared Goff. And Joe Burrow has a lot of hype, but at least he's been to the show. None of those other guys have even been. So
Definitely agree with that one right there. All of those guys getting some years in the NFL at QB. So we'll see who it can actually get to that Super Bowl in Los Angeles. And we have this post right here regarding defenses and more specifically defensive interceptions. We know last year was a historic year for the Jets, but in the worst way you can imagine in terms of takeaways. So the Jets did not record a single interception during last season, and this list is the fewest defensive interceptions for last season. The Jets with 0. Next, you have the Cowboys, Titans, and 49ers tied with 6. And lastly, the Green Bay Packers at number 5 with 7 defensive interceptions. Hopefully, the Jets can get one, and I think our boy AZ will do that this year. He's been going crazy from what I've been seeing in camp, in practices. He's been locking stuff down, showing you the real DBU. So make sure to look out for AZ Thomas in that Jets uniform. I think he changed his number to number 1 this season, so he's definitely going to be causing some dudes to get that seatbelt put on him for sure. But man, James, 0 defensive interceptions in a season. I feel like that's just really hard to get. Like not even one. Like I don't get it. I really
especially
don't.
when your coach is like a DB,
Yeah,
like that kind of makes you feel like, yo, we kind of suck, man.
for sure. Shout out to Aaron Glenn. Hopefully his team can rebound and get those interceptions. And the NFL is a growing sport, whether that is internationally or whether that is even with streaming. Here is the Netflix NFL schedule, courtesy of Netflix Sports on X. So buckle up, according to Netflix Sports, for the NFL on Netflix this season. And let's take a look at the games on Netflix. So the San Francisco 49ers versus the LA Rams in week 1 in Melbourne. Then the Packers versus the Rams, the first ever Thanksgiving Eve game on Wednesday, November 25th. Christmas, the Packers versus the Bears, and then you have the Bills versus the Broncos, and you have week 18, Saturday, January 9th, and the NFL Honors is going to be on Netflix in February of 2027. James, how do you like the games that are appearing on Netflix from this past season?
I mean, where they're at, all of those games should be like really good competitive games.
Yep.
So like that's actually pretty like a good slate. Like San Fran, LA week 1. LA should be the Rams should be the team that everybody's, intrigued with them making the trades and bringing Aaron Donald back. But the Pack versus the Bears is a rivalry game. So that's going to always be good. And I think the Bills and the Broncos will be trying to position themselves for who's going to be at the top of the AFC at that point. So like those are some good games.
Shout out to Netflix and the NFL. And man, shout out to these dudes on the free agents list, still hoping to get that call up for another team. And there's some notable names on this list. Not going to read all of the names on this list, even though some of the names, like you see Trayvon Diggs, have been updated in terms of them actually getting to a squad. So you may see some names that have actually signed with the team. But nonetheless, here are some of the more intriguing remaining NFL free agents according to Spot Rack. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill, wide receiver Brandon Cooks, linebacker Eric Kendricks, cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, edge. If I'm not mistaken, Joey Bosa is still a free agent. Let me just look that up. Yet he's still currently an unsigned NFL free agent. Bobby Wagner is a name on this list. Kyle Van Noy, edge rusher, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, Zay Jones, and some other names on this list. But I will scroll through this list as well so you can see some familiar names on this list. Man, my boy Taysom Hill, sucks to see he's still a free agent, man. One of my favorite players growing up. But just going to be scrolling through this list for you guys so you can peep which players on this list that you might like and that are still a free agent. Still a long list for you guys right here. Shout out to Mercedes Lewis, Jacksonville Jaguars legend, that tight end position. But yep, these are the list of the players. Cam Akers, shout out to FSU, still on this list as well. So, man, these are some free agents still out there on the market, hoping to get picked up by a squad. And James, like you said, preseason is here, and you're going to be popping out to the game tonight in Jacksonville. And let's look at the week 2 slate of preseason games, courtesy of Adam Schefter. He's been going crazy since football season is ramping back up. But here is the NFL preseason week 2. Last night, we're going to give you guys some updates on those games. On Thursday, August 20th, the Raiders faced off against the Texans, and the San Francisco 49ers faced off against the LA Chargers. I'm going to pull up the scores for you guys right here. I'm going to share it really quickly before we get into the other slate of games in this week 2 of preseason. So I'm going to share this with you guys right here. Let's take a look. Raiders ended up beating the Texans 22-20 in a showdown in Texas. Fernando Mendoza, 8 of 15, 86 yards. He did have a pick 6 in this game. Aiden O'Connell, 15 of 24, 166 yards. CJ Stroud, 4 of 6 for 27 yards, average of 4.5 yards per completion. But Davis Mills had the most passing yards in the game. Woody Marks with the rushing touchdown. And you had Dylan Lobb, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, with the rushing touchdown, and Dare Ogunbowale with the rushing touchdown, as well as Aiden O'Connell. So shout out to these players on these squads right here. And the 49ers put BTA to the Los Angeles Chargers 41-17. James, you see that familiar name right there in that Los Angeles passing stat sheet box score. DJU, 7 of 15. He threw for the most yards for the Chargers QB with 1 touchdown. Justin Herbert only had 2 attempts, and he completed one of them for 9 yards. But Mac Jones, North Florida's finest, Jacksonville's finest, 6 of 13. He had the most passing yards for the Niners. But Brock Purdy, 4-6, 29 yards. Adrian Martinez, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And Sincere McCormick had a rushing touchdown, as well as Khalil Herbert and Adrian Martinez. No rushing touchdowns for the Chargers. And then on the receiving side, Jordan Watkins had a receiving touchdown, as well as Jerron Bradley as well. So those are your games that happened last night. So we're going to pivot back to the Adam Schefter post to look at the games that's going to be happening this weekend. Excuse me. Now you have the Jets and the Steelers, 7 p.m. NFL Network. The Panthers at the Jags at 7:30. The Packers at the Broncos at 9 p.m. on the NFL Network. Then on Saturday, tomorrow, you have the Commanders, Lions, Bills, Browns, Falcons, Colts, Ravens, Vikings, Saints, and Rams. So the first game kicking off at 12 p.m., the next 3 at 1 p.m., and that Saints and Rams game at 4 p.m., as well as the Giants and Dolphins on the NFL Network. Now your 7 to 7:30 p.m. games are the Bears, Bengals, the Eagles, Patriots, Kansas City and the Bucks. And lastly, your 10 p.m. game on Saturday is the Cowboys and Cardinals. On Sunday, August 23rd, you have the Seahawks and the Tennessee Titans facing off on 8 p.m. on Fox. So these are your week 2 slate of this is the week 2 slate of preseason games for the NFL. So you can locate your favorite team and look at some players who are trying to get that roster spot for sure. So I just wanted to update you guys with that as well as we progress on through this NFL season. Can't wait for this season. Should be a lot of good bump out there for sure. Super excited about that. Hope everybody eats. Hope everybody gets on the squad. And speaking of eats, James, you know what time it is. You know what we do at this point of the show. And hopefully we try to get people a little bit hungry with our BS or bussin' food review segment. But today we got kind of like a party item dish, if you will. Since football season is around the corner, you might have a little get together to watch a game, and you may cook this item right here. But if this is your first time at the show, welcome to the Big Games BS section. And more importantly, welcome to our BS or Bustin' food review segment, where we show a food item on the screen and we ask you guys in the chat to please spam in the chat BS or bussin'. BS if you think that food item looks trash, or bussin' if you would like a taste of that food item. And today we have a good one for you guys. We got a, drum roll please, Sloppy Joe tater tot casserole. So let's see if this is BS or bussin'.
So fancy shepherd's pie.
This is one of the most kid-requested meals on our dinner rotation. It checks all the boxes. It's easy, you can make it all in one pan, and it's got tots. Just get your pan over medium heat and throw in 1 pound of ground beef, a chopped onion, and the seasonings I've listed below. If your kids don't like onions, that's no big deal. Just throw them out and there's more tots for you. Once that's browned up, you're going to add in Worcestershire, tomato sauce, ketchup, mustard, and barbecue sauce. Then you can just let that bubble until it thickens up, and then you're going to add on some cheese, and you could go with tots, but crispy crowns are superior. And you're only going to need about 3/4 of that bag of tots. So once you're done playing Potato Picasso, you can put the rest of those in your pocket like Napoleon and then pop this in the oven at 400 degrees. That's going to cook for about 25 minutes until the tots are golden and crispy like the picture on the bag, and this masterpiece is ready to serve. If you want to make it even easier, you can skip the whole middle part of this video and use Manwich instead, but that's banned in our household because my wife doesn't like it.
I'll eat it. But again, shepherd's pie is nothing but ground beef. They made it sweet, so they made a sloppy Joe, and mashed potatoes on the top with maybe some. The only thing he missed, he had the broccoli on the side. Just put some peas on the top of it. Yeah, cheese, like it's, man, yeah, all right. Yeah, potatoes, meat, cheese, yes. It's just doing too much though. Like they didn't have to do all that. I feel like the kids would have been okay with just taking the tater tots on the side and not having to have everything put into on top of each other. But yeah.
James, that's all I got on my end. Any last words to say to the fans as we bring in the weekend with Big Games BS?
Make sure you go support your local high schools. Make sure you go support some of the parks. Some really good football being played around. One of the things we were talking about a little bit on the show a couple weeks ago were how expensive some of these tournaments were. But I don't know if people heard. But if not, like if you would like to, we would love to have you come out to the Soul Bowl over off of at the Bob Hayes Sports Complex / Legend Center, 5130 Sutel Drive. Adults are $10. Kids 5 to 11 are $5, and kids under 4 are free. So come check us out. That is affordable. That is way less than what the other stuff. And it doesn't seem like they're charging for parking, but it's cash only out there for mine. But there's other places that are doing really, really good things on a Saturday. Make these kids feel like the superstars. What does it hurt you if you have it? If you don't, then stay home. But if not, go out here and treat these young men and the women who are cheerleading and make them feel like this is like the biggest event of the year for them, as they all try to consistently do their thing. So that's all I got. Outside of that, appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me, and we will see you guys next time.